So much to get to here on Stugotz and Company. We are presented by FanDuel. Izzy, I was telling Ariel Hawani yesterday that last night at roughly, 11:45 at night, and I've slept maybe 2 hours here, I was running around my house like Jim Valvano after he won a national championship, just looking for somebody to hug. I mean,
what's funny is I was watching that, and I had, my nephews were over. I was watching it, and we had watched all the Miami Heat run, right, in 2023 when they got to the finals, and that Derek White tip-in. We still have PTSD over the Derek White tip-in.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's what it feels like to not have a horse in the race. I was just shocked. I was just hands on my head like, how is this all happening? And it was just probably the most entertaining finals ending I've ever seen.
Wow. Izzy, I was at a bar in Manhattan, like 2 blocks away from the Garden, and the Knicks win the game. And I'm with a couple of friends. Lucy was one of them. Mm-hmm. And I am like borderline weeping at this point. I'm talking to this one guy next to me, like we're weeping in each other's arms. He walks away. Lucy goes, "Who was that?" I go, "I don't know."
Yep. Yep. You'll hug a stranger now. Yep. Everyone's your friend. And that's what the team does. That's what this team does to that city, to that state, to that fan base. It unifies us. I've been telling you that and everyone knows that. But I love that you hugged a stranger last night. Did you have a single drink, or you just had Shirley Temples? What'd you do?
I had a couple drinks.
All right.
Especially in that first half.
Yeah, a couple Shirley Temples, couple Sprites.
Yes. You noticed the point, Izzy, right? Where Taylor kind of gave up, threw in the white towel. He was done. It was the point where he texted us in the group text, and it was angry. You could feel it. 9 a.m. tomorrow.
It was just 9 a.m. tomorrow. It was probably because he couldn't get any texts out where he was. But Taylor, I'm curious as to when you started to believe, because they got down 20 again in the fourth quarter. It was like 9.5 minutes left.
Yeah.
And then we were just watching that game. Everybody's just watching that game to say, talk about the next one. Like, how is the series over? Are the Spurs going to do what Stephon Castle said and win the next 3? And then you're just like, wait, what just happened? Wait, they're within 10, and then they got so close so fast that you're just like, yeah, this is just a regular NBA game now. Like, it went from at 9 minutes down 20 to at about 6:24 down 10, and you're like, this is anybody's ball game. And it just happened so quickly, then from 10 to just absolutely catching up, that it's just like, I don't know if the Spurs will ever recover from this.
The first moment that I started to believe, it was super late, like 3-ish minutes left when Brunson hits a 3 that I think cuts it to like 3 or 4, and the Spurs take it.
It got it to 3, I believe. Yeah.
That was the first moment where I was like, oh my God, we've got it back to a 1-possession game. Like you said, Izzy, this could go either way at this point. And what's crazy is that the Spurs have absolutely dominated the Knicks for a majority of this series.
Should be a sweep.
But what you're
up 3-1.
But what you're seeing, and why the Knicks are up 3-1, is the Spurs' inexperience and inability to close out these games. And on the other side, it's a Knicks team who's like, this is going to be our best shot ever.
Yes. Yeah. It's so there's so many big moments and so many big plays in that game, Izzy. And I wonder if people are going to forget about this one, because even with 1.2 seconds to go on a perfect inbounds play, if Karl Anthony Towns doesn't get his hand on that basketball, and I'm not certain anyone will ever remember this because we're all focused on OG's block and then we're focused on the shot by OG to win the game. But I have watched it a dozen times, I'm serious. And I'm telling you, if Towns does not get a finger on that basketball, the Spurs win that game. And
it's a wide open dunk.
Feeling a lot different today.
It's a wide open dunk if he catches that.
Yes,
it was a bad pass. Should have been way higher. B, Karl Anthony Towns did get a hand on it. C, the clock should have started when Karl Anthony Towns got a hand on it. It didn't, and so that was another mess up by the Spurs, by the referees there. But look, Taylor was right. That last play, the play before it, the block, the steal and the Josh Hart missed layup, which I'm sure had people pulling their hair out.
Well, listen, the Knicks, OG bailed him out. He bailed out the entire city last night.
He did, but all of that leading up to that, every single Spurs possession was the most frustrating thing to watch. Even when there was one possession where they already had Jalen Brunson defending, they set a screen to get who else? OG Anunoby back on the top. And they kept working the De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama pick and roll against OG Anunoby and Karl Anthony Towns, who is pushing Victor Wembanyama anywhere he wants to go. It was so obvious that the Spurs needed to do something different, anything different. They had Dylan Harper, their best guard, sitting in the corner the entire run. And it's just like, Mitch Johnson's inexperience is showing. Victor Wembanyama's inexperience is showing. And De'Aaron Fox might have had the worst ending to a playoff game that matters that I've ever seen for a single player.
I mean, that guy should get a statue.
Unbelievable. At the single-handedly keeping the Spurs from winning a championship.
I'm not certain. Yeah, I'm not certain who I'd give the Finals MVP to. De'Aaron Fox or the Mecca. I mean,
Stu, at the very least, De'Aaron Fox has earned a spot on the Knicks parade if the Knicks win a championship.
Oh, no question. Yes. Welcome aboard, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your service. You could be on the first float. Izzy, you know how amazing and special a sporting event has to be, a basketball game has to be, when people like Israel Gutierrez, who have spent a lifetime covering this sport, and people like Charles Barkley, who have spent a lifetime playing this sport, honing his craft, and then becoming a broadcaster, when people like Mike Breen, who have called a million big games, are all telling you, hey, that might be the greatest finals game, greatest ending that I've ever seen. What a special night. What a special thing that is for everyone last night. Izzy, I don't care if you're a Knicks fan or not. That was a special evening.
I was watching, that Jalen Brunson celebration where it looks like the three-pointer is eating his face? That's how I was watching that entire. I was just like, I was shocked. I
covering your eyes, but not.
Yes. And Michelle Beadle now just a loss away from getting a tattoo.
Oh my goodness. I even forgot about that. Yes. And then you look at this the stat sheet afterward, and it's like, you realize the Spurs were just on fire in that first half. Mike Breen could not stop reminding you could feel his pain from the inside.
Oh, yeah.
And then you look at the final stat sheet, and the Knicks shot 47% from three. They had the better shooting day from three. Obviously didn't hit as many, but didn't take as many. And it's just, man, that De'Aaron Fox ending. It's not just the fact that he tried to put that shot up when he didn't have to, and OG blocked it, whatever. It's every single play down the stretch. He just made either the wrong decision or just didn't hit a shot. And he hit that one shot earlier before the run started happening. And you could just look at it in his eye. You can see it in his eyes. He was just nervous as heck out there and couldn't finish that for them. And I did not see any of that coming.
We have a new OG song, I am told. I am very excited about this. Taylor, when did you climb into the studios, into the lab in your house there? What time did you do this song? When did you do it? What time in the morning?
So the game ended around midnight. I have a bit of a commute home to get out of the city. So everybody is running down the streets. Everybody's going to party. I said, you know what? I'm a content guy first. I got to get this song out. I got to get right in the lab. I was probably doing takes until about 3:30 a.m. I was doing a take, watching the rest of the Knicks game, doing a take, watching the rest of the Knicks game. I probably did, 5, 6, 7 takes, but then I probably watched the Knicks game and the Knicks post-game shows until about 6 a.m.
Yep. All right, we'll get to that.
Did you learn with the rest of us that Bill Pito is an MSG host?
No, I knew. I know Bill Pito.
Yeah, of course he does. Well, you didn't yesterday. We'll get to that song in just a second. Mikey A sent out a group text in the middle of the game, halftime last night. Do I have to watch the second half? Did you? I mean,
I did, and I did it. I did it motherfucking you and Taylor the entire time because I'm sitting there going, I'm upset that the Knicks are losing. And it's no secret. I'm not a big NBA guy. I don't watch this, but I'm sitting there and I'm watching. I'm upset when I'm watching the first half. And I'm like, you motherfuckers made me care about this.
Yeah.
You sons of bitches made, and now I'm sitting there and I'm invested in it now. And I'm one of those guys where I'm the fan that everybody, all the sports should want because I get invested big time. And now I'm watching it and I'm living and dying with I've watched what? 6 games all year, 8 games all year, and now I'm sitting there and I was Jim Valvano just like you were at the end, and I didn't care, and I'm sitting there, motherfucking Taylor and Stugotz made me care about this, and I hate them.
Yeah, all right,
I would argue that it's the Knicks kind of made you care because
because I wouldn't have watched.
You would have watched.
No, he wants us. He's caring about our feel good. He doesn't care. Right. Like that's it. He wants us to feel good about it. You know.
Yep.
Can I take Taylor through the key portion of this game when this is where a lot of the screw ups happened, right? And Taylor had mentioned a 3-pointer by Jalen Brunson. It was a 3-pointer by OG that forced the timeout, but it was at 5:20 left. It was a Jalen Brunson hit a short shot. And it's a 7-point game there. Okay. First of all, that's where Mitch Johnson needs to call a timeout. It wasn't crazy out of control yet. Still a 7-point game. You can calm your team down. He didn't. This is where De'Aaron Fox starts his ridiculous screw ups. Now, he had just hit a 3-pointer after a timeout, so he's probably feeling good about himself. And then he misses a step back jumper. Knicks rebound. That's when OG hits the 3. Then Mitch finally calls a timeout. That place was nuts by that point. Okay. And then what does De'Aaron Fox do? He hits a 3. And then it's like, okay, maybe everything is okay. And then this is where it's just like, it's just bam, bam, bam. It's Jose Alvarado, Victor Wembanyama, Jose Alvarado again. And it felt for a second like the Spurs might actually be able to hold them off, but they just kept coming.
Never has a take aged better than me saying I would die for Jose Alvarado, because the Knicks were down 20 when Jose Alvarado hits a 3. The fourth quarter, he had 8 points, 3 assists, 0 turnovers. He was plus 17. We're talking about an undrafted kid who, when he does his post-game interviews and he's he's answering questions from the court, he sounds like any guy that they got from any of the 5 boroughs just picked out on the court and been like, oh my God, Jose Alvarado's out there. Jose Alvarado's out there repping us. Like, the fact that a New York City kid is in these moments when nobody really gave him a chance to have these moments, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It freed Brunson up. It did. It allowed him to kind of be off the ball, and Alvarado, it put another ball handler out there. So it was a great move by Mike Pram, which freed up Jalen Brunson, who was just amazing last night. I mean, it was a 2-man show. It was Brunson and OG, and it was incredible to watch. And Alvarado, I guess, but incredible to watch. Let's get to this OG song. Taylor, of all the surprising things that happened to you last night, was the most surprising thing that happened me responding to a text at 2 a.m. from you?
I was surprised you were still up.
Like, you and I were having full conversation from like 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning because I hadn't moved. The other college basketball analogy I'll give you in terms of my reaction to this game is Thomas Hill after Christian Laettner hits the shot that gets Duke over Kentucky and gets them to the Final Four. And he's just sitting there with that glazed look on his face on the sidelines. I'm telling you. And then I'm screaming at my wife. You guys would have loved this. I'm screaming, get it to 15 by the 4th. That's all I kept screaming.
That's exactly what happened.
And they got it to exactly 15. And I said to Abby, that's a wrap. Game's over. Knicks are going to win. The Mecca will take care of the rest. I mean,
I was watching the first quarter thinking about how right I was, how Karl Anthony Towns got into foul trouble in the first couple minutes and how the Spurs were running away with it because the Knicks looked a little nervous. And it's just like, wow. And yeah, they just apparently that wasn't a big enough lead. Like, what is in the NBA these days that is not a big enough lead in the NBA Finals? It was wild.
Before we get to the OG song, Izzy, you talked about the Spurs. Is it over? Do you mean the season, the dynasty? Like, let's clarify here, because I don't think this series is over. I'm terrified we're going to lose the next game and come home, and the Spurs are going to do the same thing to the Knicks that they did last night at MSG, except they'll close the deal, you know?
Is this a think about it Thursday? Because think about it for a second. Like, they went from on the verge of the first championship where this dynasty will last to, oh no, I don't think we can play De'Aaron Fox. Like, we have to not obviously play him, but we have to get off of this guy. He cannot be part of our future. Okay. And then you start not saying that the dynasty is not going to happen, but you start to question some of the internal fortitude of some of these guys. And if this happens, if the Knicks go out and use this momentum and win this thing in 5, like, the Spurs are going to have it's going to be kind of like, 2013. when Ray Allen hit that shot and then they lost in game 7.
Right.
That offseason for those Spurs was an absolute nightmare. They hated every moment of it. And they're going to have to go through this. And this will be like we talked about, Victor won't have to go through a test to win his first championship. No, if this ends up with the Knicks winning this will be the ultimate test for a guy who was that close to a championship.
I'm going to play both sides here for a second, because to that point, if I skipped ahead to the day Victor Wembanyama retires and you told me he never recovered from this loss, part of me would kind of believe that, because it was that crushing of a loss, that deflating of a loss. But also, circle of trust, I would not be surprised if the Spurs won the next 3 games, because
I'm not even joking. Yeah.
They have absolutely kicked the Knicks' ass for like 80% of this series.
But here's the thing.
They blitz us every first quarter.
They do.
And they've never held it. Like, they can't even feel good when they're up 20 if it happens at home the next game. They're not going to feel good about it. With 9 minutes left, they could be up 20, and they could still have the fear that this could happen again. And I don't know if it's, I mean, obviously they can learn from this, right? Obviously they can run different sets. Obviously they can take De'Aaron Fox out of the game if they really wanted to. But that big of a shift right in the middle of the series while you're going home, like, obviously Victor Wembanyama can recover from this long term. But in this series, it might be tough. I mean, he played 44 minutes in that game, and still they couldn't pull that out.
It's the roller coaster. It's the series. They have 2 days to recover. There's 3 days in between games, so that's going to benefit Wemby. It's going to benefit both teams, but it's certainly going to give San Antonio some time to move past this. Speaking of Wemby, and people will leave this out because there were so many plays down the stretch. You cannot call yourself the face of the league, the greatest player in the NBA. You can't do the things that you do, act the way you act, point to your head, I'm in your head, I'm in your head, I'm in your head, and then go choke and miss 2 free throws at the Mecca with the game on the line. You can't do it. You cannot do that. Michael Jordan doesn't miss those. Kobe Bryant doesn't miss those. Jalen Brunson doesn't miss those. Okay, I just put Jalen Brunson in the same sentence as Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Why? The Knicks are 1 game away from a fucking NBA title. That's why.
And Stugotz, they were 1 proper decision away, and this is it's the most right I felt in the first quarter is the most wrong I felt when this happened. They were 1 proper decision away in the off day from Victor Wembanyama being suspended for Game 5.
Yes,
because he got that flagrant foul just
he should
by
be
moving
suspended.
his arms.
Yes,
he should be suspended for this next game. This series should be over.
Yep.
And Jalen Brunson did miss a free throw in the game too.
Yeah, no, I know he did. But you know what? In that spot, in Game 5, okay? Or Game 4, excuse me. I'm tired. But in Game 4 at the Mecca down the stretch, he doesn't miss those. He just does it. That's a terrible job. Make 1. Give him 1. That is a terrible, terrible job by a guy who is the face of the NBA. Jesus Christ. Anyway, go ahead, Mikey. Thank you.
I would also just... Yeah, absolutely. I would also just love to point out that Stu keeps moving the goalposts. Like he said, Game 4 was for everything. If the Knicks win, it's a series wrap. If the Spurs win, it's over. It's a series wrap. Now he's like, well, now I got the Spurs winning the next 3, and he just keeps moving it. I don't think you will allow yourself to believe that this could actually happen.
I don't think most Knicks fans will allow themselves. I don't think we want to go there yet because we know how good this team is. We know how dangerous this team is. We know that we've been outplayed in all 4 games, yet somehow we're up 3-1. I just want to stay the course, man. I don't want to upset the apple cart, okay? So I have the Spurs winning the next 3. I am reeling today.
All the Knicks have to do is stay close because this is all going to come creeping back. Like if they are within 6 points, 8 points in the last 5 minutes of that game, it's going to feel like everything's collapsing on the Spurs already.
Yeah.
And so, I don't think the Spurs are going to win the next 3. I thought in the second quarter that the Spurs were going to win this thing in 6. Now I believe, they're going to at least lose it in 6. I don't have a great feeling about Game 5.
Of all the amazing A-listers who were courtside last night, who were you kind of scratching your head about the most, Taylor? For me, it was Kirk Herbstreit. Love Kirk. He's a friend. I'm just like, and I understand. Listen, I used to work there. I understand the access you get when you work at ESPN. But I'm thinking like Taylor, man. He's been a Knicks fan his entire life. I've been a Knicks fan my entire life. How is Kirk Herbstreit the one sitting courtside for a Knicks game and getting all the great footage because he doesn't care about the game? So he was just sitting there on his camera the entire time.
Kirk Herbstreit was the one for sure for me. Taylor Swift was another one because Taylor Swift has a history of being a Knicks fan, but she was just in Cleveland with Travis Kelce, where it looked
you can't do that. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, you were courtside at a Cavs game against the Knicks. Your boyfriend is chugging a beer, and now you're courtside at the Mecca. Get out of here with Stevie Nicks. I mean,
the one that brought me the most joy though was seeing Larry David. Anytime seeing Larry
he was
David,
so happy.
Anytime seeing him happy, it's like such a weird juxtaposition with Larry David that it makes me happier.
Seinfeld was everything after that tip-in. When they showed Seinfeld, because he was in utter shock. That wasn't acting. That wasn't I'm playing up for the cameras. He was every Knicks fan. He was in shock at that tip-in.
Yeah, it was amazing to see all of them out there. Spike Lee was singing New York, New York with Scott Van Pelt.
That was Stevie Nicks.
I mean, everyone was there until hours after the game. Taylor, when you poured out of that bar, because you're all about content, you had to get home, you had to write a song. What was the city like? It erupted, right? It did?
So the bar that we were at was probably, it was at capacity from tip, but by the time the game ended, it was probably at like 60%, where they did the Stugotz move of leaving and trying to come back in. The city was crazy. I was trying to go back to Penn Station, and all the streets are closed and people are running, people are screaming, everybody's doing the "Let's Go Knicks" chants. It was emotional. I was like on the verge of tears like 40 times, and I'm like, just thinking about it, like, just one more game. Every time I felt like I was about to cry, I just kept saying, one more game. They have to win one more game.
You couldn't be more right about the Jose Alvarado when you look at everybody else on that Knicks bench. I mean, shout out Ariel Hukporti. His 3 minutes were huge. He was +3 while all the foul trouble was going on, and Mitchell Robinson was getting hacked all over the place. But without Jose Alvarado, this Knicks team does not win this game, period. And everything that has happened so far in these finals, it's just like, it's the exact opposite of what Tom Thibodeau would have done, right? He's playing the current coach, Mike Brown, is playing enough bench players where somebody's going to have a game and somebody's going to save your ass. And it just so happened to be Jose Alvarado last night, because Landry Shamet's last two games have been awful.
When he put Alvarado in, to Mike Brown's credit, and listen, that move has been justified already just by the Knicks getting to the NBA Finals here, one step further than Tom Thibodeau was able to get him. But he did say, hey, we need more shots. We need to get our shots off quicker. We need possessions. We're down. We need to catch up, and this will free up Jalen Brunson. You heard him in the timeout kind of saying all that, and it turned out, and it worked out. And so you have to give Alvarado the credit, but that credit starts with Mike Brown making that decision in that moment with the season on the line to put Alvarado in and have Jalen as a two guard. So it was a special night, so special that Taylor went home and wrote a song about it. Let's take a listen here. This is the latest song. Taylor has, I believe, 6 or 7 songs, 5 of them about Jalen Brunson, and a new one here about OG. So let's listen to it.
Brunson gets it, fires up a 3. Shot no good. The tip, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. With 1.2 remaining. Knicks take the lead. OG Anunoby.
Brunson missed. Oh no, we're in trouble. Someone get a rebound, please. He's there for the tipping. OG. And in the final moment, he somehow saves the day at MSG. He's there for the tipping. OG. 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 He's there for the tipping. OG.
You're a big Beatles guy, huh?
It's like he really loves the slow Beatles songs.
They work. They work.
Come on, you weren't singing along, OG, in the chorus?
I can't sing along the first time. You got to listen. You got to take it in the way Taylor intended.
All right.
Shout out ABC. Shout out ABC for the play-by-play.
Yes. Yes, he is taking
Breen
liberties that he
cameo.
doesn't have.
Taylor Vippolis is featuring Mike Breen.
Yes, listen, ESPN, ABC, they paid Mike Breen and the NBA a lot of money to have the rights to use that sound. I'm glad you put it in a song. Let's hear it again.
Brunson gets it, fires up a three. Shot no good. The tip, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. With 1.2 remaining, Knicks take the lead. OG Anunoby.
Brunson missed. Oh no, we're in trouble. Someone get a rebound, please. He's there for the tipping. OG. And in the final moment, he somehow saves the day at MSG. He's there for the tipping. OG. 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 He's there for the tipping. OG.
I love you, Taylor.